Where is she? Oh yeah, it's been like 4 months. Sparkles!
What?
There she is.
What?
I'm filming a video. I need your help for the intro.
What? It's been so long, I thought you forgot.
Nah, 2020's happening.
Oh.
Yeah, so come on and get ready.
Fine.
What took you so long?
Well, I had to make my Halloween costume. I'm obviously Mothman.
Fun, but does that mean I need to dress up too?
Of course.
Okay.
What are you?
I'm Pastel Anime Girl.
What made you take 2 hours?
I obviously had to make my own costume too. We've been doing this intro for way too long. We need to get started.
Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Sparkles and today I'm going to be making a stitched together kind of pastel doll. She's kind of like a pastel version of Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas, so let's get started. Here's my design for this doll. I drew up this design for a stitched together fabric doll of sorts and also a fantasy over the top royalty doll. I couldn't decide, so I asked you on Instagram 2 months ago and you chose the stitched together doll. I'm going to use this Rochelle Goyle and I'm going to prep her real quick. Wiping the face, removing the hair, you know the drill. To start her hair, I paint the portions of her head the color of the hair. And for her hair, I use acrylic yarn I separate into strands, twist the length I want. I take my reweaving tool from the Doll Planet on Etsy and loop half of one strand over my finger, loop it onto the needle, and stab it in the head. I do that quite a few times. Once I'm done, I need to secure the yarn. I'm trying something new, hot glue. I recently got a new hot glue gun with a hot setting. Meanwhile, the one I've been using only has a warm setting. So with this glue gun being hot, it should mean I have more time to work. So I squirt some glue through the neck hole and squeeze the head all around so I coat the inside, and set it aside to dry. Once it's done drying, I wrap up her head and get ready for her face up. Time for the face up. All my materials I'm using are listed in the description. Okay, so you guys are probably wondering where I went for 4 months. Basically 2020. I officially got my Associate of Arts degree in May, and I had a little crisis of what I would do next. On top of that, I had a little case of art block and I just needed a break from YouTube for a little bit. Plus some planning for dolls fell apart really quickly and I panicked, but I'm back now, so hopefully I can stay a bit longer now. But thank you so much for waiting for me during my little break. I really appreciate every one of you. Do you remember those questions I asked you for a while ago? No? Well, it's time to answer them. Jolly K asked, what inspired you to start customizing dolls? I think like most people, Delightful was my first inspiration, but even before Delightful, when I was in high school, I was super into sculpting. I took AP 3D art, which is basically advanced sculpture, and my favorite medium to work with was polymer clays. So much so that my concentration was sculpting people that needed assistance and used mobility aids to help them. It was mostly fantasy situations, but I still think it's one of my favorite series. One of the sculptures I made was based on Annika Victoria, a sewing YouTuber with a chronic illness. I wanted to find a different way to make her hair instead of just using clay, so I found out you can use your own wefts, I believe from Nicole's Dreams. And from there on I learned about doll customizing, which combined my favorite things: drawing, sculpting, textiles, you get it. Jolly K also asked, do you want to go pro like Delightful or the Doll Fairy? I would love to be able to do YouTube full time, but I know it will take a lot of work, plus I need to get better lighting and other technology to make a better video, plus I'm still using iMovie to edit. But I would love to do other things outside of YouTube, like selling products like my customized dolls or other hobbies I have, like resin art or drawing commissions. Kind of like what Bailey J does, if you know her content. But my official answer is, I would love to, but not just YouTube. Cyberglitch asks, what's your favorite doll repaint you've done? My favorites are my steampunk girl I made a year or so ago, and my kitsune based on my boyfriend's Animal Crossing character. Some honorable mentions are my cyberpunk and pastel punk dolls, my pastel witch, Aizawa, and Beatrice and my bat harpy. Thank you guys so much for your questions. Also, you might have noticed I painted her face and body with extra pastel patchwork pieces. I just do that with acrylic paint off camera. But for the lines in between the patchwork pieces, they're done with Posca pens, which I love. I think it looks good. So as a finishing touch, I gloss her eyes and lips. For her clothing, I need to make a new pattern. She has a fitted bodice with a collar, puffy sleeves, and a gathered skirt and a fair bit of ruffles. I make a bodice piece that falls just below her bust to make a baby doll fit. A fake collar piece, and you see a circle skirt now, but later I change it to a rectangle to gather it. And for the sleeves, I double the amount on the top and bottom so I can gather them to make them poofy. I also cut out a good amount of thin rectangles so I can gather them for my ruffles. I cut the pieces out of different pastel cotton fabrics I got from Walmart. First, I fray check all the pieces and gather all the ruffles and sew them to their respective pieces. I sew on the color wrong sides together and flip them the right way around. I then sew the shoulder seams together and attach the sleeves. It was kind of difficult gathering them up and sewing them together, but I got it. I then sewed the side seams together and gathered the skirt piece and sewed the top and skirt right sides together. I tried it on her and it looks so cute. I had a snap to the back and close it up and her dress is done. I still need to make her some glasses and paint some shoes. I bent some thin wire into some circle frame glasses. I was amazed on how I did it too. And for her shoes, I take out my doll shoebox and I find these cute high heel Mary Jane type shoes. I already gave them a paint job in the past, but I want one to be yellow and one to be pink. So I paint them off camera and she's done. She's done. I know she's pretty simple and not too Halloweeny, but I needed a bit of an easier project to come back to. I still think she's super cute and a little spooky, and I hope you enjoy her too. Anyway, that's it. Click here to subscribe, click here for my latest video, and click here for a video YouTube thinks you'll like. Have a happy and safe Halloween, everyone. Thanks again. Bye.